Hello guys, I've got all my imports here. I've got some really rare ones, some not so rare ones, and then some that have gone down in value quite a bit. I'm looking at U68 Mustang. So yeah, I've got all 11 here at my warehouse. And I'm gonna go over them all today, and we're gonna do a little bit of a review. So let's get into it. So first up here guys, we've got my 68 Fastback Mustang. It's got an Eleanor style front bumper on it. It's got that beautiful V8 small block. Very fast. This is probably the fastest Mustang here. We'll find out at the end of the video if it is. Because all of them are going to get the 0 to 60s tested. So this is the 68 still a 66 Mustang. It's the fastback version of this one. So yeah, this was up until just a little while ago my favorite of the collection. Still top 3, but yeah, this one is definitely one to beat. We'll give it a rev. Comment down below, guys, at the end of the video, which one of these is your favorite. So that's the 66 Mustang. All done. Now we're going to be moving on to the 65 Ford Mustang. It's the same car as this, but this is the coupe version. It's got the same small block V8, but this one, it's a little different. It makes a tiny bit less power. But this is the 65 model year. It's got obviously you can see the differences. This one's not had any cosmetic work besides the stickers and some paint. This has had resto mod work done to it. This car is probably one of the best sounding cars here. I'll give it a rev as well. It is really nice sounding, this Mustang. It's one of my favourite on its noise. It's not my favourite on its drive. And definitely not on its looks. Okay. So here, guys, is my 1992 Ford Escort RS Cosworth. This was the first import I got in Redline. It's a very fast car. It's a 92 RS Cosworth. Elite bought me this for doing really a lot of hours of harmony. It's one of the only cars here besides that one and that one that'll ever get sold. And yeah, it's my favourite. My favourite non-Mustang. This has got another great sounding noise. This annoys Snowy a lot. Because he wants one of these and he's not got one. It's just funny annoying him with it. The engine on this model is very, very detailed. None of the other cars here have this detail of an engine. Like, you can see the turbo, the carbon intake and everything. It's just very, very detailed. So that's going to wrap it up for the Cosworth. We're going to give her one last rev and then we're going to shut her off and then move on to the next car. So here is, guys, my 1967 Ford Mustang GT500 Fastback. I've had 2 of these. I've had my original, which I then turned into the Eleanor kit, and then I traded that car in for this version. I got 200k. It's the exact same car. They drive exactly the same. They look exactly the same as my original. The only thing different on this car is I've changed the wheels, changed the paint, yada yada. This is, again, one of the only Mustangs I will never sell. I love the looks of this thing. This was one of my least favourite, and then I changed my mind on it. This interior, it's more of a resto mod style Mustang, but it's very, very nice. Let's give her a rev. So, what you'll find is, guys, these Mustangs have a generic sound, but look at that engine. It's a beautiful looking engine, this. It's one of the best looking cars I own. But yeah, they all have a very generic sound. Like, you'll find with this next one here, that its sound is very, very similar. This is the 68 Ford Mustang GT390. It's the slowest car here, most likely, on top speed at least. It's got a very similar sound to this Mustang, as do a lot of the classic Mustangs. We'll hop in, we'll give her a rev, and I'll show you the engine. This car means a lot to me. It symbolises when I almost bankrupted Harmony. It proves I also could make a lot of money in 1 week. It's a very special car to me for all these reasons. It's one of the Mustangs that let us sell. The engine bay, very, very clean. This car will most likely end up just becoming a resto mod style build at some point. This car will never be leaving the garage, along with all of the Mustangs, because I don't plan to sell any of them. This Mustang in front of you, the 69 Mach 1, this is my favourite of them all. If I had to sell all the Mustangs, this would be the only one left. It's got the sound of a Mustang, of what a Mustang should sound like. It's got the looks of a Mustang. It's the ultimate Mustang. Like, I'll pop the engine, I'll pop the bonnet so you can see the engine. The actual bay is very detailed. The bay just looks brilliant. And then when you come here, you can see the Clevelands in the thing. This car is just perfect in every way. It's my favourite Mustang for that one reason. I'll give her a rev as well. Just listen to that, guys. This is the best sounding car here. So guys, this here is the first Mustang I bought out of all of them. This is my 2018 Ford Mustang GT Fastback. I bought this car because I didn't like the Dark Horse noise at this time, so I bought this one instead. It's got sounds like this. Nice noise. I bought this car to be a daily driver, and it did do that for like 3 months. It was very nice. This is what the engine bay looks like. Very nice and detailed. It's a nice car in general. The 5.0, I've put the heritage badges on it, the little striped horses. It's a very nice car. So folks, we've got the final 4 left, and we're going to start off with Import 1, the rarest car here. This was the second Mustang I bought. I bought this car because it's 2018, and I just thought I wanted this car since it came in. It's a casino. This is the second Mustang I've owned the longest. And here's the interior. Let me just pop out so you can see the interior. Very detailed interior. Quite nice. It's one of my favourite looking interiors on the Mustangs. And here's what she sounds like. Sounds basically the same as the 2018. And that is because this and the 2018 are basically the same car underneath from how they drive and everything else. This is the engine bay. It's a very detailed engine bay. It's a 4th gen Coyote. So really it should have 2 intakes, but we can cross over that. We'll close the hood and we'll move on to the Dark Horse. This here is my 2024 Ford Mustang Dark Horse. This is the most expensive car in this car park right now, costing 1.1 million. Fine, I basically did a payment plan for this car over, I think it was 4 months. It's a very nice driving car. We discovered it was very quick the other day. It's got a good noise. We'll give her a rev. I bought this car from Joe Crotts, Mr. Crotts. The engine bay is exactly the same as the 2024, as they are both a Gen 4 Coyote. They have a few differences, but the engine bays, the differences aren't that noticeable to me. This is one of my favourite Mustangs because of the noise, and it's just a very nice car altogether. We'll close the hood and we'll move on to the non-Fords. This is my 1987 Mercedes 560 SEC. Bought this from Frankie to build into a drift car, and that is exactly what I did. So I pulled out the old engine and we threw in a 6.2 Hemi. Here's what the car sounds like. It's a good noise, and this is what the engine bay looks like. It's not one of my favourite cars I own. I don't drive this car very much, as the car's not road legal. It's on drift tyres. It is insured and registered, but this car will most likely never see a road again because of the drift tyre situation. It's one of my favourite drifting cars that I own. It can slide around corners very, very nicely because of this 700 horsepower engine. And such a long wheelbase car, there's a long wheelbase car like this. It's a very nice drifting car, and because of that, it's one of my favourites. This car, well, this is my 2020 Land Rover Defender, my second import I ever bought. I bought this car when Elite bought me the Escort, and because I love this car so much, I decided not to sell it, because this car was originally for sale, then took it off the market and kept it. It's one of my favourite cars that I currently own. It's got a 5-litre Coyote, and that sounds a lot like this. The 5-litre was installed into this, as Redline just currently not have an AJ V8. And that is also a 5-litre V8, and they were both being developed at the same time by the same engineers. And I thought, screw it, we'll put a Coyote in it. It's a very similar engine. There's a few differences, but they are very similar. It suits the car very nicely. It's very fast. It's faster than the 1-of-1 R34 Skyline. It's a very nice car.